Okay, so when first downloading WordPress, if we go inside the files and folder structure, which is included with the download, it can seem pretty intimidating because there's quite a lot of different items inside there, and generally a lot more items than you get inside a traditional HTML website. So I'm just going to spend a moment just looking over some of the main files and folders inside the directory, just to give you an indication of what some of them do. So once WordPress is downloaded, and once we rename the file and double click and go inside there, this is what we're taken to. And the majority of these files that we can see is the core WordPress files, and these are not intended to be edited, so most of these we can just leave as they are. However, these one or two files called the configuration files, which we do need to amend. One of them we need to change is the WP config page, and we can either do this manually during the WordPress installation by adding the database name and the username, or we can run the WordPress installation script and fill in a few blank details and let WordPress generate the new config file for us, just like we done when we install WordPress ourselves using the local host. And there's a folder called WP content, and inside this folder is the files and folders that we'll be working with mostly, and this is where we can add different themes. So inside the themes folder, we can add and install different themes inside there. We can install themes using the WordPress dashboard, and WordPress will automatically include the theme folder inside there for us. And this is the place to go if you want to edit a theme. So we can drag the theme folder into a text editor and begin editing. And we'll take a look at how to do that later on in the course. In the same way as the themes, there's also a plugins folder. So as we go through the course, we'll download and install various plugins to go with our websites, and they'll be all stored in one central location, and that's inside the plugins directory. Certain themes have different language files to allow for translation, so we've got a languages folder inside there. And there's also one or two other folders, such as the upgrade folder, which is a temporary folder created by WordPress when upgrading to a newer version. There's also the uploads folder, which we'll also use later on in the course when we create backups of our WordPress websites. So that's just a quick overview of what's included when we download WordPress. We'll get more familiar with the various files and folders, particularly inside the theme folder, as we go through the rest of the course, where we'll take a look at files such as page templates and how we can apply these to our themes. Okay, great. So now let's move on to the next section, where we'll get to work on building our WordPress blog website.